Hey everyone, my name is Frostfangs and welcome back to another commentary video. Today I thought we were going to talk about something that is pretty relevant at this day and time, but before I get to the actual topic of the video, I just want to say that there's going to be a timestamp on screen right now. You can click if you're not interested in listening to the entire topic, which will take you to the end of the video where there will be a bit of a story slash plea for you guys to help out with something. There's a certain situation that's arisen or something like that, which I think is still valid. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to, double check that and eventually leave some sort of text on screen telling you if it is or not. But it's a thing that you guys can help me out with, or not exactly help me out with, help me help someone out with, kinda. And the information for that will be at that timestamp in the video if you want to skip to that and skip the entire topic and just get to, I guess, the good part of the video where you can help someone out and make a difference. It will not require any sort of personal information. It will just require you guys to log on to your Steam accounts for a little bit. And it's definitely not something that is fishy in any sort of way. This is very common and a lot of people, I think, are doing this every day. So anyways, without getting into that part of the topic just yet, let's talk about what led me in to talking about this. Wait, what this situation that arose, which I'm talking about later in the video, what that inspired me to talk about. Yes, something like that. Today we're going to talk about hacking, and especially hackers, and what I think of the entire hacker scene. Now, I know that personally I'm very critical towards all this. There are people out there that do hacking for good. They kind of hack against the criminal hackers of our society. They go against the people that take down bigger corporations or take down private people's accounts, but we're gonna focus on the bad fry in this video, the people that are really fucking mean and do shit that you don't want them to do, see things you don't want them to see, etc. And I guess we're gonna start up by talking about the small fry on the internet, like who can become a small fry amongst the hacker community. Well, let's just briefly talk about what it will require for you to break into, let's say, someone's Facebook account or someone's Twitter account. To be honest, I don't really have any sort of first-hand knowledge with this, but as far as I can see from certain things I've read, there are a lot of software out there you can download that will do this for you, which initially means that everyone you meet online or in real life could potentially hack you or some of your personal accounts. I mean, I don't really know too much about this, but apparently there are like keygen generators for Facebook accounts or for Twitter accounts that will let you just simply enter the password of the person. I'm not entirely sure how this works, and you'll be able to break through, which means that you could download a software for, let's say, nothing. It's free, for example, and it will take you maybe 10 minutes to get the entire thing downloaded and whatnot, and you can break into anyone's account, which means that at this point in time, a lot of people could be small fry hackers. A lot of people could, with just, I guess, the right equipment, get into anyone's computer or anyone's sort of personal information or personal files. Now, of course, these are not the big fries, but it's kind of a spooky thing. Imagine that so many people could go criminal at any sort of point in time. Where, I mean, back in the day, you had to get a gun or something like that to rob a store, but now you can just download software and eventually crack into, like, your bank accounts and whatnot, which is fucking spooky. But still, these are not required. What am I talking about? These are not considered to be the big fries of the hacking community. I would say that the big fries amongst the entire thing, or the big bosses, would be the ones in certain bigger groups. For example, the people in Lizard Squad. I can't speak today. For example, the people in Lizard Squad, for example, the people in Anonymous, or for example, the people in that one group, I don't remember, which kind of died out after they were wrecked by Anonymous last winter. I think that's what happened. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really followed the entire flow of things since then, but there are these groups where I would say the big bosses of the hacking community live, and I think that to reach the level of these guys, you'll need a bit more than a couple of software things, because they don't just break into personal computers or break into your Twitter account and whatnot. They break into bigger corporations' servers or hard drives or internet pages. For example, let's take Lizard Squad as an example again. They broke into Microsoft and Sony, I think the last Christmas day, if I'm not mistaken, like on December 25th, they broke into both Microsoft and Sony and shut their services down for an entire day, which, I mean, I don't think there are any keygens for that. I don't think you can download stuff that will allow you to break into these bigger corporations' names or hard drives or whatever the fuck you're gonna break into. I don't think that you can just do that off the bat like you would with a Facebook account. Now, obviously you will need some sort of background knowledge to do these kind of things to make this happen. And I think the best background knowledge you could have if you ever wish to become a hacker, now don't take my word for this, and if you become a hacker, you did not see this video, alright? I'm not guilty of anything. I think the best way to do it, or the most logical way to go about getting the experience, is going a data engineering course or a programming course. You need to learn JavaScript, you need to learn source codes, and you need to know how to maneuver these things. However, I just want to throw this out there. This entire thing is pathetic. Alright? If you are thinking of becoming a hacker, just don't, alright? If you are a hacker at this point in time, just don't, alright? It's fucking sad, man. I just want to compare the hackers of our generation to the thieves of an all generation. Just really fast. All generation? Old generation? Who gives a shit? I just want to kind of compare these two for a second, just because there's something pretty interesting here. Let's go to the thief, right? Let's talk briefly about how this person operates. This person brings a mask, he brings a gun, or a water gun. I've seen a lot of people actually bring soft guns to this in movies and whatnot, so I don't know if that's a thing they would do in real life, but they might do. They bring these things and they physically go to the store themselves to rob it. They risk their lives doing it. You never know when the cops show up, when the guy behind the fuel station's counter has a shotgun in his ass. You know, you don't really know these things. He could pull that out and you're risking your life big time doing this. You are... I'm just gonna say you are ballsy as fuck going into this. If you want to go rob someone like in a bright day, or rob someone at all face to face and tell them to hand over your money or you're dead, that does require a bit of bravery, to be honest. It's not any sort of heroic bravery, but it's some sort of stupid, ridiculous bravery, and it could be for multiple reasons. You could be stealing stuff for the material value itself, or you could be stealing stuff for just people that really need it. Example, like homeless people might steal something because they need food. They need food, they need shelter, they need clothing, whatnot, and people might steal because of these reasons, or because of desperate scenarios like that. Whilst a hacker, on the other hand, is kind of like the thief, but with surgically removed testicles, so to speak. Like, you just take away the balls of the thief and you receive a hacker. Because this hacker, 90% of the time, has to have a couple of things. First and foremost, he needs a roof over his head, so he's not any sort of homeless person, he's not in any sort of desperate situation, and he has the right equipment, which means, again, he's got money and he's got opportunity, but he's deciding to fuck up people's lives online regardless. Now, the thing is, another thing just with this is, obviously he doesn't have the same motive as the thief, but he performs the same acts, right? He steals material value, or he does it for pride. I know a lot of people do it for pride, that's fucking ridiculous, but let's focus on the people that do it for material value. They steal things online for their own gains, and they don't really need it at all. They don't need the things they're stealing 90% of the time, they just do it because they can, because they're able to. And the thing that really annoys me with this is that, compared to the thief, again, this guy shows up as said and risks his life for whatever he has to steal, but the hacker sits behind a keyboard and types really fucking fast without ever risking his sort of identity in any sort of way. He is completely anonymous and can hack into any sort of account, which is just fucking ridiculous. Like, just, oh my lord, it blows my mind that people would feel accomplished after doing something like that. Like, why would you sit there and ruin for other people, ruin what people might have worked for a long time, and feel accomplished right afterwards? It just feels fucking wrong. It feels stupid, especially when it's not brave, it's not cool in any sort of way, because you're probably a fat fuck with lots of sits with a fucking cap and huge glasses with 11 plus trying to steal something. It's, I don't know, it pisses me off, it makes me a bit angry, and I don't know. I think the entire hacker scene in this sort of way is really pathetic, and I hope that if you know anyone that is in the scene right now, that you will tell them to stop, because it's pretty sad. And if you know anyone that's interested in getting into the scene, just tell them to stop as well, because it's even sadder wanting to get into it after having heard this fucking amazing guy talk about it like a fucking pro for like 10 minutes. Woo! Anyways, that's really the end of the topic I want to talk about, but now we're going to get on to the prefixed part, the one that I talked about before the topic really began, before the video got onto. It's not going to be that long, but it's something I think is really important and something we all could help out with. Pretty much what's happened is that I think a week ago or something like that, Chino sent me a message. Blue Chino, my good bud Blue Chino, you all know him probably, sent me a message on Steam that his little brother had been hacked, his account has been hijacked, and he is not able to access it, and all the valuables that are there are stolen from, I guess, just his possession in general. Now, I did do what he asked me to do. I went there, I reported it for hijacking, but obviously this is not going to be enough to get Valve's attention in the matter. You probably need a couple more voices saying that, you know, this is hijacked, this is not good. So I want to ask you guys briefly if this information is still valid. I'm going to check with Chino after recording this video to go over to the Steam account and report it for being hijacked. I'm going to leave a link in the description to it. All you need to do is click it. You need to be logged onto Steam, I think, and you just go to, instead of add a friend, you go to the right of it, which is more, and then you go to report, and then report for hijacking. I think it's the fourth one down on the left side of the like reasons for the report. But yeah, definitely report it for that, not for anything else. That would not help out in any sort of way. That would just worsen things, and it would not be great. So I hope that you can all go there and report it for hijacking. That would make me extremely happy. I hope that, you know, it will initially grant the account back to Chino's brother, and will then make even more people happy. You know, it would be a great thing. It would be really awesome if you guys would take your time out of your day to do this. Anyways, that was going to be my topic and my secondary topic of the day. It's not really anything special. I didn't have too much time recording this video, so I do apologize for that. I hope it's still kind of acceptable though, and that you are able to enjoy it nonetheless. Thank you all for watching. My name is Frostfangs, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.